Hi everyone, today I wanted to do the books I read in February. So I only read 5 books, but they were kind of big books. So uh, the, they were really good in the books that I read. Even though it was a small amount, I actually really enjoyed most of them. So let's get going on what books I read. So the first one I want to talk about is 99% Mine by Sally Thorne. She is the author of The Hating Game, which was a very popular book, and I really enjoyed The Hating Game. She kind of writes contemporary rom-com romances, kind of just chick lit type of books, and this one is about a girl, and she's a twin, and she falls for her brother's best friend. But there's stuff going on in her life and the family that kind of cause tension, so she doesn't know if she can actually be friends with this guy. So things happen, they fall in love. It was really cute. I didn't enjoy it as much as I liked The Hating Game. In The Hating Game, the main character, I forget her name, but she's much more likable than the main character in 99% Mine. It was still enjoyable, but definitely because the main character wasn't as likable to me, I didn't enjoy it as much. I'd probably give it a 3 stars out of 5. The next one I read was Unmarriageable by Sonia Kamal. This is a Pride and Prejudice retelling. Yes, it's a Pride and Prejudice retelling set in Pakistan, and it's actually, I really enjoyed it. There was 1 or 2 parts that I didn't like, but most of the book I really enjoyed. It was really funny. One of the more memorable things was that the book opens, and the main character, the Elizabeth Bennet character, she's a teacher, and she's talking about Pride and Prejudice, and she has her class rewrite the first section, or the first sentence of Pride and Prejudice, which is, "It is the truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife." So she has her class rewrite that sentence, and it was just kind of funny to see what she had, like, the students wrote. It stays fairly close to the story of Pride and Prejudice. The characters are actually very likable and funny, so I definitely enjoyed it. So I would give this maybe a 4 stars out of 5. I did have a 5-star read. A lot of these I did on audio. I did have a 5-star one for me, and it was The Dead Queen's Club by Hannah Capin. Now, The Dead Queen's Club is a kind of a Henry VIII retelling, and 1, I like retellings, and 2, I've read a lot about Henry VIII and his 6 wives, and just all that, and reading a retelling was really fun. So I'm actually just looking at this picture, and if you notice, Henry VIII has a football helmet because the Henry VIII character is a football star at his high school, and the wives are kind of like the girlfriends. So it's kind of a drama with a bit of thriller in this book. So I think that's why I liked it so much, because I do like thrillers and I do like suspense. And you can tell how much research the author went through this story. Because I have read a lot of history about it, it was kind of nice and refreshing. Like, she mentioned, like, these obscure people, like the one of the queen's, like, best friends in real life, her name was like Maria de Salinas, but she puts kind of that character in the book. So it was kind of nice to see. I'm like, wow, like she really did so much research, and even these obscure characters, she was able to like slip into the book. This book is told through the kind of eyes of Anne of Cleves' character, and it's like kind of like what she sees. So I really enjoyed it. I give this a 5 stars out of 5. The last couple books are the big ones that I was talking about. I read half of it, and then I kind of wanted to like be able to hear it faster, so I did it on the second half of it on audio. This is City of Brass by S.A. Sharbarbati. And this is kind of, it's the first in a fantasy series, and it's kind of like Aladdin mixed with some other fantasy series, and it's kind of really fun. So it's about a girl. She has these powers, and she calls up a genie. And when she calls this genie up, she kind of finds out that there's like 2 types of genies, and she might be part genie because she has these powers, so she has to go looking for these people. There's flying carpets. I really enjoyed it. I was able to get the second book of it, so that is kind of fun. But I would definitely give this a 4 stars out of 5. If you like fantasy, this is definitely a fun one. This is another story that's told through the perspective of characters from the book. So I think there's like 2 characters that it goes back and forth on. And then the last one I read is an arc I got, Sky Without Stars. This is a Les Mis retelling, and this is a 5-star review for me. I really enjoyed it. It's a Les Mis retelling, but science fiction, and the premise kind of sounds like weird, but it's not. Like the way these 2 authors write it, Jessica Brody and Joanne Rendell, they pay homage not just to the actual like Broadway show that everyone knows, but they actually pay homage to the classic book. I want to do a video book review on this, so I don't want to talk too much about it because I want to do a video on it where I'll talk more about it and go into like why I really liked it. But this is definitely 5-star. Les Mis retelling, set in space, very well written. So I like that. So those were the books that I read in February. Hope you liked this little video. Like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.